Welcome, 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 Patriots. Third time's the charm. Anyway, episode of Campaign Mimosa. Now, here on Campaign Mimosa, I am talking to movers and shakers, activists and patriots who are actually running for public office, because this is how we really make a change on the local level. It's super important to me. If you've been on my channel long enough, yes, but it's what is being done on the local level that really affects your everyday life. It affects your taxes more. It affects the type of education system that our children will have, police restrictions, prison reform, immigration. More can be done on the local level than can be done on the national level. So that's why I started the show, Campaign Mimosa, because again, I want to encourage all of the patriots this a shot. Now, not everyone is going to be qualified to be a politician. Now, some of us have quite a few demons in our closets. That's why I better just stick to the entertainment side of the conservative movement and not so much the politics. I want to make sure that they're on the show so you know about these candidates, you know where they're running, and you know what you can do to try to help them with their campaigns. We need to start voting red down the ticket. And in a lot of cities, we don't have qualified people. And even a lot of the rhinos that are in there already, even a lot of the good old boys from the neocon Republican Party, they're just not doing what needs to be done. You know, they didn't stand up for Donald Trump. They're not standing against Joe Biden. They never stood up to Nancy Pelosi. They never stood up to Chuck Schumer. They're letting Matt Gaetz get drugged through the mud. They're letting Ron DeSantis get drugged through the mud. Frankly, there's a lot of Republicans we just can't trust. She is running for mayor of Arlington, Texas. Her name is DONI Anthony. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So Arlington, Texas, 400,000 residents. You are the home of the Cowboys Stadium, as well as the Texas Rangers. What is going on in Arlington, Texas that inspired you to run for mayor?
Well, good old last year, COVID, where they shut down all the businesses. They mandated masks. Our actual mayor is supposed to be Republican. He wrote to Abbott to mandate those masks. We need a mayor that's actually going to stand up and fight for the businesses to be open and let them decide how they want to operate safely. We need to deregulate, make it easier for businesses to start here and stay here. That's how we're going to build our economy back up. Our economy was hit hard because we just built a second Texas Ranger Stadium. And right when it was about to open was COVID. So it didn't make any money last year because everything was shut down. So that was a big motivator for me to run. Seeing how the election went last year and how it was stolen from us, I was like, what can I do now? Because I co-lead 2 different conservative groups. We help other candidates run for office. We get people together, go knock doors. We have fundraising dinners for them. We do, I let them on my platform and talk and get their words out and get people to know who they are. And I also donated money to people's campaigns. I've done a whole lot. Been to rallies, I've spoken at rallies, and it wasn't enough. So I was trying to figure out what I needed to do to be able to make a difference. And I decided I need to be in a position to where I can run. So I found out the mayor only makes $250 a month in the city. So I was a little hesitant because that's working class people. Like, that's, how do you live off $250 a month? So I'm not creative about it. And I was getting this nudge in my head, look at the book of Esther. And I finally did. And long story short, she risked her life and saved her people. So I feel like if I did not run, I would be defying God. And I definitely need to do what's right for the people, because I know I'm not corruptible. I can't be bought. And the people need someone like me who actually represent them.
Did you grow up in Arlington, Texas?
I'm born and raised in Indiana. I moved to Texas in June 18th of 2008. One of the best decisions of my life, so that's why I have the date memorized. I visited Texas. Actually, Arlington was the first city I went to, and for Thanksgiving in 2007, and I moved really quick from June of 2008 from Thanksgiving. So I was there fast, but I lived in different parts of Texas. Arlington's where I've been at recently. And I like the city. I picked it out because of the location in DFW. It's close to Dallas, close to Fort Worth. I also liked it because if my friends want to come and see me and hang out, there's all kinds of things to do out here. So yeah, I really like this city, and I feel like it could be so much more.
I asked you that because I think for certain patriots who've maybe traveled a lot in their life, lived in a lot of different locations, like myself included, you feel a little bit discouraged for running for public office because maybe you're like, well, if I didn't grow up there, you know, everyone's going to, all of my opponents are going to bring that up and make it sound like I'm not as passionate about the city as I am now. But you have really taken ownership over Arlington, Texas. You've taken ownership of it in your heart. And so it's really good to see. It's very encouraging to see that, you know what, you don't have to be a native of a city. If you have fallen in love with a certain American city and you want to fight for that city, and if you want to make sure that the community that you now live in is better, you have every single right to run as anyone else. So I just wanted to let the Patriots know not to be discouraged by that. I was checking out. Go ahead.
And here's the other thing too about that. If you think about it, wouldn't it be kind of great to have a leader who's been in different parts of the world or the city, not the world, but city backgrounds. So just to only have been in one spot for your whole life, I feel like there's more growth when you lived in different cities as well.
I totally agree with that. And that's a really good point to make up, you know. So besides what COVID has done to devastate your city, what are the other issues as far as education that you might want to improve upon in Arlington?
With the education, that's actually more so under the school board. This is more of a weak mayor structure. We can discuss things and have a partake in it, but that's our school board is pretty powerful in our city. I've noticed that a lot of people like to move down to South Arlington because they're able to go to Mansfield schools. I would like for our schools to improve so people don't feel like they have to live at the very bottom of Arlington in order for the kids to go to a good school, which is actually Mansfield, a different city.
So I have to say this. I'm so sorry that I have to bring this up because I myself am from Southern California. So your state and my state have major immigration issues. Would you like to talk a little bit about what you've seen in Arlington and what you would like to see improved?
Now, Arlington, Texas actually is a sanctuary city. I would like that gone because I would like for our people to be safe. There's a sweet lady named Deborah Robertson who has reached out to me when she realized I was running for office. Her daughter was actually killed by an illegal immigrant by a hit and run incident in Arlington, Texas, and she doesn't have any justice. She lost her daughter. She hasn't seen her grandson in years because of all of this. And I really want to enforce the law and make sure people here are here legally and that they get their jobs. Man, Trump was doing a good job with building the wall. The people coming in here illegally the numbers went down a lot. But now we're getting hit hard with Biden's administration, their policies, what's going on in our states right now. But as long as our law enforcement is really working to take care of that and keep that under wraps and preventing another Deborah tragedy, I'm all for making sure that the people are safe and they're put first, because that's not even just the safety part. It's like, well, these jobs, the residents need jobs, you know, so why would you give jobs to people who aren't citizens?
Biggest differences that you've noticed in your city from Trump's administration to Biden's administration, since you brought that out, besides the immigration issue?
Okay, so one, the gas has gone up at least $1 since Biden's become president. I've actually been out talking to small businesses, and particularly one want to kind of focus on the industry for restaurants. A lot of them are having a hard time staffing their establishments because of the stimulus checks. People don't want to go back to work. They have applications to make it look like they're looking for a job, but they're not really looking for a job. And then the unemployment, so getting the unemployment. So people are choosing to not work. So it's hurting the businesses because they can't be fully staffed. And then you have people who are at work, who are overworked and then also comes in the overtime and pay more money for those employees as well. So that's a big issue going on right now too. People are a little more open to talking about politics now and not attacking each other, because I talk to people on both sides of the spectrum when I'm looking to let people know I'm running for office and I'm the best choice. And I realized once a lot of this every single second of the day anti-Trump narrative died down, the people are a lot better to talk to and have conversations with. And that's not even anything good for Biden. That is just what the media's control has done, and how people actually behave, and how people, honestly, I hate to say the word controlled, but I mean, you're not freaking out every single day and saying certain things you're saying every day because the media's not telling you to think and say those things. No.
Tell us about your opponents.
So I'm running against 7 men. One of them just put his name on the ballot, and he has a change.org thing. That's all he's doing. So I don't think he's really running. The other guys, there is one other guy who's conservative who's running, but but I believe I'm the best for the job. I believe I'm the most conservative of the bunch. And then we have some establishment. I'm learning a lot more about the establishment with this race. I posted some numbers. The guy with the most money spent, it has spent $181,000 in our mayor campaign. He's attacked me numerous times. He was been endorsed by the police associations, the fire association, our current mayor, and another previous mayor. So it's really, really strange. He's also an attorney for the Texas Rangers, and his son works for the police department in this city. It seems to me like there's a lot of conflict of interest. He's also a criminal attorney, so I'm kind of figuring out like how that all works out for him. But he's an establishment pick for sure. So there are other men are running too, but this is a nonpartisan race. They don't say their political affiliation, but you can tell what their political affiliation is. And one of my issues with the main candidate that I was telling you about is he comes off as conservative and a Republican, but he's not. He said he did not support Trump. His name is Jim Ross. He said he did not support Trump. He said that on a video that at the Capitol, that those people thought they were patriots, but they were not patriots. So it's concerning for me when I see a lot of conservatives actually support him, because he has the whole using the police and the talking points to persuade people to vote for him. And he's got a lot of money in his campaign. Now, they're one of the reasons why I decided to run in the first place too. So I was looking at the options, and I didn't think any of them were going to do American first, put the Constitution first, and protect people's rights. So I'm the candidate that's actually doing that. Like, I keep this in my backpack or my purse is with me all the time, my Bill of Rights and my Constitution. I take this very seriously. I've been working since I was 16, and all I've been watching is our rights be chipped away my entire life. And I haven't seen I saw more improvement when Trump became president, and now the election was stolen from him, and then now we have to do this ourselves.
Well, speaking of doing it yourself and going back to I'll circle back to what I circle back.
I ain't no circle back, girl.
I'm not that Jen. All right. Circling back to what we were saying earlier about, you feeling spiritually called, reading the book of Esther, feeling spiritually called to do this. I think there's probably a lot of patriots who are hearing that voice, because this is God's nation. And even if you're pagan, Wiccan, atheist, Buddhist, it doesn't matter. I'm probably have been one of the above at one point in my life or another. But when you hear the calling and you answer the call, you're putting yourself out there for ridicule. You're putting yourself out there for really even to be humiliated. And you don't even have to have any skeletons in your closet, but we see by what's being done to Matt Gaetz that they can just make some up. So all that being said, besides the emotional toll, what are the first steps? Like, first off, we know step one is you have to have a thick skin. Okay. I think we all everyone on my audience would probably figure that out. Yeah. Step two, how do you run for mayor? What paperwork do you need to fill out? What are the fees? If this is something you can do, then this has got to be something anyone can do. I mean, not anyone in terms of their personality, but it's got to be feasible and accessible to more people. And we're so manipulated by the media to think that we're not good enough to try. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is go to your city website and look at the requirements for running for mayor. If you make sure you qualify for running for mayor, and then you can either you may have to pay a fee or get signatures. So you do that in order to run. You really need to get out there and talk to as many people as possible, let people know who you are in order to be successful in this race, because it's really hard. That's the expensive part about this race, is getting out there and talking to the people. You have people who you're really close to, you can trust to help you get the word out, get this out. For me, I did not plan on running for office at all at first, but then I was building it up, my different groups I have, the people I've helped, the rallies I've been to, my social media platforms have been very helpful. So if you want to run and do this, get out there and talk to the right people. Now, my race is nonpartisan, so the political GOP and DNC most likely may or may not help you. So if your race is partisan, I would reach out and talk to your precinct chairs, talk to whomever you can to go ahead and get that help from them. And if there's anything you can do in the meantime to volunteer and help and build those relationships in your community, that'll be helpful as well. So I've been following you on Twitter, and I just want to say that I love your personality. You have a very approachable nature about you. You're fun to watch. You're very pretty. You're great to listen to. You can put out a 1-minute video and have so much impact with just that. And you have on me, which is why when I finally saw that you were running, I was like, whoa, I got to get you on the show, because I've been following you on Twitter for a long time. Thank you. Yeah, you're amazing. You're really amazing. So, I mean, I just hope that encourages all the patriots to know that we are the better options. We are the better options here, and to not be afraid, to not be scared, to not be intimidated by whoever your opponents are. But my professional background, I started in customer service, and then I moved into sales because I saw you can make more money being in sales, and then I went to more commission-based sales. As of now, I am an independent salesperson, so I'm still doing sales. In order to be this mayor, like I said, I have to be flexible and creative, fun, taking care of myself, and you'll make $250 a month. So I am selling CRM software with HubSpot independently right now, and then with my, I'm getting my life and health insurance license again. I've had before. But I'll be independent, selling Medicare, because I really like that focus. I like helping people try to figure that out, because they get so many phone calls. Like, when you get a lot of information for voting and when the people are campaigning, that's how it is when you turn 65 or you're about to go to Medicare. You get all this information, it's overwhelming. And I want to be that person to help people do that. So I'm going back into that as well. And you make pretty good commission being an independent insurance agent. Can you tell me about when you started doing work with other campaigns, you did say something about going door to door. Can you tell us a little bit more about your politics background too? So I didn't necessarily do the local precinct thing. I'm like a lone wolf. So with my groups and stuff, we went out and just help individual people. We help the judge. We help people who are running for Congress.
you know, what's her name? Beth, who just recently got in Congress. Our group actually did a fundraising dinner with her and Gerson Hernandez. So I did not go to the organizations and start helping them because I was more independent, wanting to help people because I didn't know who I could trust, you know? So I just found different candidates who had the same beliefs as myself. If they sound like a rhino to me, I wasn't going to help them. If they sound like if they said they were going to let social media censor people, I wasn't helping them. So I'm more of a lone wolf. I just went out and was just helping people. I didn't need the recognition. I didn't need to have like a tally on there. People want to hear that now, and I'm running, and I'm like, I did things on my own. I wasn't doing it for the recognition. I was doing it to be, to make our community better. And I wanted us to be a socialist or communist country.
What are your current needs and how can we help you?
You guys can find me on DONIForMayor.com. You can find me at DONIForMayor.com, DONIFORMAYOR.com. And I'm Donnie for Mayor on Twitter, Gavin, Twitter, my main platforms. And you can places there, my website. If you're a local, you can sign up and get me information if you want to volunteer and help. We need as many people as possible to go out and knock doors. On election day, we need people out there because District 6 is actually having an election as well. So there's going to be a higher voter turnout. And a lot of people don't realize that there's going to be a mayor race as well. And there's no R or D or anything next to our name. So when you go to vote, make sure that people know to vote for Donnie Anthony when they go in. The legal distance away, not the Kamala Harris with her megaphone doing that, but like the legal distance you can be away. So when people are going to vote for our new congressperson, they can do that. And also donations. Campaigns are not cheap. I'm actually, I started campaigning in February, and the guys who are not establishment, I'm actually pretty close in their fundraising that they've done, and they've been fundraising since November or December. We had to pay for, I'm not necessarily getting a lot of signs. I'm gonna get a few big signs in the different right spots and then have them like wherever the polling locations are at, because I was really looking at local, I would never really look at the signs. I didn't pay attention to them. So I feel like I'm doing my campaign differently. We need t-shirts, and you have to pay for places to have speeches at. So it's not free to go to a convention and just, hey, can I speak here and running for mayor? They're like, okay, give me $500. I'm like, you know, so yeah, that's how people can help me out.
Awesome. Well, but you're very encouraging, you're very inspiring. So once again, I want all the ragers to go follow Donnie on Twitter and Gab. Check out her website, DONIForMayor.com.
I just want people to know that Arlington, Texas can be more than it is today. We can be mentioned with the big cities' names. When people want to move to Florida or Texas, and they decide they want to move to Texas, I want them to make Arlington the top choice, the top priority, because it's easier for them to start their businesses here. They know they can have their freedom, have a mayor that will look out for them and not be bought off. So if you want a mayor that's for we the people, I'm your gal.
Thank you so much for your time.